number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 457,880. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 7,936. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 2,327, with total confirmed deaths at 77. We anticipate those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, December 8th. More than 8,000 new positive COVID-19 cases and 27 more deaths were recorded in LA County as of Monday evening. Public health officials say daily case numbers are unlike any we have ever seen in our county, and due to this reality, many activities we've enjoyed in recent weeks have become too risky now for virus transmission. So far, every day this month, the number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 has surpassed all-time highs, and it's increased almost every day since November 1st. Currently, 2,988 people with the coronavirus are hospitalized, and 24% of them are in the ICU. Today, the state announced that the Southern California region has 10.1% staffed adult ICU capacity remaining. Also increasing at an alarming rate is the number of healthcare workers who are getting infected with COVID-19. This week, the county reported the highest weekly number ever of new cases, 1,745. That's more than twice the number reported last week. California's new stay-at-home order is in effect for at least 3 weeks, which means private gatherings of any size are prohibited, and all residents need to stay at home except for when they need to perform essential activities or provide essential services. However, public health officials are encouraging outdoor recreation among household family members, saying it's important to take care of your physical and mental health during this difficult time. As frustrations mount in regards to the recent ban of outdoor dining, California Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mark Ghaly emphasized this important point in an answer to journalists during his afternoon briefing.
So the decision to include, among other sectors, outdoor dining and limiting that, turning to restaurants to deliver and provide takeout options instead, really has to do with the goal of trying to keep people at home, not a comment on the relative safety of outdoor dining. 5 or even 30,000 that we reported.
California has 23,272 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the 7-day average to 23,503. Dr. Ghaly says more people are testing positive in recent days compared to 2 weeks ago. The 7-day positivity rate is at 10.1%, while the 14-day positivity rate is at 8.7%. COVID-19 hospitalizations increased 70.8% over the last 14 days and is currently at 10,567. And COVID-19 hospitalizations have gone up 68.7% over the last 14 days and is currently at 2,417. Dr. Ghaly showed the latest ICU capacity in the 5 regions across the state that trigger regional stay-at-home orders. We'll update you on the latest data a little bit later. He also showed examples of Europe's stay-at-home orders showing multiple instances of how positivity rates dropped after countries imposed nationwide closures. Dr. Ghaly emphasized the need for Californians to stay home and says travel is explicitly restricted in areas under the regional stay-at-home order. He adds that hotels and vacation rentals should not rent to people in those regions and that hotels may still be used for quarantine and isolation. The United Kingdom gave its first COVID-19 vaccine shots today. Margaret Keenan, who turns 91 years old next week, said she felt so privileged to be the first person to be vaccinated and considers this to be the best early birthday present she could wish for because it means she can finally look forward to spending time with her family and friends in the new year after being on her own for most of the year. She was given her first of 2 shots at 6:31 a.m. at the University Hospital Coventry in England. The second patient to get the COVID-19 vaccine was an 81-year-old man named William Shakespeare. This hospital is one of 50 hospital hubs receiving the vaccine in the first wave. The head of England's National Health Service says today is just the first step in the largest vaccination program that country has ever seen. Public health officials there say those who are most at risk will be vaccinated in the early stages. The first 800,000 doses are going to people over 80 who are hospitalized, already have outpatient appointments scheduled, or are working at nursing homes. So far, the UK has more than 61,000 COVID-19 related deaths, more than any other country in Europe. It also has seen more than 1.7 million cases to date. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center will be the first hospital in Los Angeles to get the COVID-19 vaccine once it's approved. The California Department of Public Health chose this facility because it has the extremely cold storage units needed to store the vaccine and because they have large healthcare populations that are in the highest risk category. Cedars-Sinai is one of 7 hospitals selected for the first round of vaccine storage and distribution across the state. Pfizer is expected to become the first drug maker to have its vaccine approved by the Food and Drug Administration. And that drug needs to be stored in freezers that are negative 80 degrees Celsius. Cedars-Sinai's chief pharmacy officer says a freezer can hold at least 150,000 vaccines. Once the emergency use authorization is granted, frontline healthcare workers will be the first in line to take them. Still up in the air is how those who take the shots will handle the side effects, which could include fatigue, fever, and headaches. To best prepare, Cedars-Sinai plans to stagger its healthcare workers from the same unit so that if some don't feel well after taking their doses, that segment of the hospital can still resume normal operations. Also being prioritized for the vaccine are residents and staff members of long-term care facilities. As for the rest of us, health experts say we'll likely have to wait until well into next year. The Food and Drug Administration released documents today confirming that Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine was strongly protective against COVID-19. The online analysis also offers the world's first detailed look at the evidence behind the drug. Now, the FDA is set to hold a live stream public debate this Thursday on just how strong the reported data actually is. A panel of independent scientists are expected to further investigate the FDA's review before recommending whether the vaccine appears safe and effective enough for millions of Americans to take. If this group approves the drug, each state will start enacting its vaccine distribution plans, with healthcare workers and nursing home residents likely receiving the first doses. In anticipation of vaccinating millions of people next year, CVS Pharmacy is hiring thousands of extra nurses, pharmacists, and pharmacy technicians. The drugstore chain began a major hiring campaign last month, announcing its plans to fill 15,000 new and existing positions during the flu season and to help administer the coronavirus vaccine when it becomes available. Now, its hiring website, jobs.cvshealth.com, has multiple calls to action for qualified candidates to join their COVID-19 vaccination support team. CVS and Walgreens are gearing up to set up a mobile vaccination service to give shots in every nursing home and long-term care facility in the country, and say so far up to 85% of the facilities have signed on to this service. About 3 million residents at these facilities are considered among the most vulnerable for COVID-19 and have been prioritized to receive the vaccines first, along with more than 20 million healthcare workers. AstraZeneca shared updates on its possible COVID-19 vaccine today. The latest findings from Oxford University and the pharmaceutical company showed the vaccine is safe and effective at preventing symptomatic COVID-19. They also demonstrated that it protects people against severe disease and hospitalization. The medical journal Lancet published partial results today from tests of the vaccine in the UK, Brazil, and South Africa. The information was difficult to interpret due to a mistake, leading some participants to get a half dose followed by a full one instead of taking 2 full doses. Researchers said the vaccine protected against the disease in 62% of those who were given 2 full doses and in 90% of those who initially took the half dose. In summary, the new results suggest the potential vaccine is about 70% effective. There are also questions still lingering about its effectiveness on those who are older than 55. This is becoming a key concern for health officials who hope to rely on this vaccine around the world because it's affordable, easy to use, and readily available. Meanwhile, AstraZeneca remains optimistic. Its spokesperson called the latest results very compelling, saying they believe this vaccine will have a big impact on the pandemic. San Joaquin Valley and Southern California are currently under the regional stay-at-home order because they don't meet the intensive care unit capacity requirements set forth by the state's Department of Public Health. California is currently broken down into 5 regions, and when the ICU capacity drops below 15% in any of these regions, a number of businesses in that area must close by 11:59 the next day, including bars, breweries, barber shops, and hair salons. Currently, San Joaquin Valley's available ICU capacity is at 5.6%, and Southern California is at 10.1%. There are other consequences of falling under the thresholds for the capacity requirements. Hotels, restaurants, and shopping centers in the regions will face additional modifications and a 100% masking and physical distancing mandate. Critical infrastructure, schools, and non-urgent medical and dental care can remain open with appropriate infectious disease preventative measures. The San Joaquin Valley and Southern California regions may be able to exit the stay-at-home order on December 28th if ICU capacity projections for the following month are above or equal to 15%. Meanwhile, regions in Northern California seem to be doing better. Northern California is seeing the highest percentage of current available ICU capacity at 25%, and the Bay Area is at 24.5%. Costco extends special shopping hours again for their most vulnerable customers as the COVID-19 cases continue to spike. Those who are 60 years and older, have disabilities, or are immunocompromised can enjoy special hours dedicated to them from 8 to 9 a.m. Mondays through Fridays. This includes locations in Torrance and Hawthorne as well. Keep in mind that guests of those customers cannot be accompanied during that time. Less than a month ago, Costco announced another change due to the coronavirus updates. All shoppers, including those with medical conditions, are now required to properly wear a face mask when entering its warehouses. Only children under the age of 2 are exempt from the rule. Today is a no-burn day in our area. The South Coast Air Quality Management District issued the alert, which means you can't burn fire logs or woods due to the high air pollution that is predicted. The alert expires at 11:59 tonight, and until then, the South Coast AQMD reminds all affected residents to avoid burning wood in their fireplaces or any indoor or outdoor wood-burning device. The no-burn rule also refers to manufactured fire logs, such as those made from wax or paper. No-burn day alerts are mandatory in order to protect public health. They happen when the region expects high levels of fine particulate air pollution. Smoke from wood burning can cause breathing problems, and particles in the wood smoke can get deep into your lungs and cause respiratory problems, including asthma attacks. These problems can also lead to increased emergency room visits and hospitalizations. Torrance schools are open again in moderate capacity. Starting this Monday, they are welcoming back their blended learning students who are in TK to kindergarten for in-person instruction. First graders in the blended learning program will return to school on January 4th of next year. TUSD's interim superintendent, Tim Stowe, says they're following all protocols from the LA County Department of Public Health and the current modified stay-at-home orders that allow schools to continue to provide and gradually expand in-person instruction. These protocols include limiting students on campus to no more than 25% of the school population. Stowe says more than 1,500 students have returned to the Torrance campuses since September. YMCA childcare activities have also resumed at some school locations since August. The school district is working on creating a dashboard that will provide information on confirmed positive cases by school site. That information should be posted on the district's website sometime this week. Go to TUSD.org. The Torrance Certified Farmers Market remains open during this pandemic and provides an alternative for grocery shoppers seeking to stay outdoors. Manager Joyce Chan says they've had no problem adjusting to the new protocols issued by the LA County Health Department in late November. They require markets to be at 50% of maximum capacity, prohibits eating on site, and limit food sales to takeout only. The city has already been monitoring the crowds and making sure every customer follows social distancing and other safety guidelines. The Torrance Certified Farmers Market is open on Tuesdays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Wilson Park, located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. The Torrance City Council meets tonight to conduct city business. They will begin the public session promptly at 7 p.m. In celebration of Hanukkah, which begins on Thursday, December 10th, Rabbi Didi Thomas of Temple Emmet will call in to give a virtual invocation. And tonight, the mayor and council will recognize the 2020 Census Complete Count Committee and appoint members to vacant commissions. Plus, city leaders may consider adopting a resolution to oppose the LA County Department of Public Health's decision on outdoor dining and playground closures. You'll have to tune in to see how they decide on this heated topic. The council will also review the Community Development Director's recommendation to accept and appropriate housing and urban development funds totaling $841,375. You can watch the meeting both here on Torrance City Cable on our website as well as on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. Today is Takeout Tuesday, another opportunity for Torrance residents to support local restaurants by ordering their favorite foods to eat at home. The city launched Takeout Tuesdays beginning December 1st in an effort to boost business for the restaurant industry. With COVID-19 cases on the rise, Mayor Patrick Fury says it's important to help local restaurants survive through the recent LA County public health orders. So give your favorite hole-in-the-wall or pizza place a call and help them with a little bit of COVID kindness if your budget allows. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Over the weekend, we introduced you to a Torrance doctor who has been working around the clock to help COVID-19 patients at multiple hospitals in the South Bay area. Our Weekends in Torrance video got thousands of views on Facebook, and more than a dozen people helped us to share the story with their family and friends. In the story, Dr. Anita Sircar shares how simple acts of kindness from kids in the neighborhood help her to overcome some of the most difficult days at the hospital.
It totally does, especially the ones from the children where they draw us, superheroes, or their language is not as, their spelling is incorrect. It's really endearing, and it does let us know that there are people out there who are still supporting us, and it really does make our day to know that we're not in this alone.
One viewer wrote, "Thank you for your service and hard work. Expect a thank you note / drawing from my kids coming your way." Dr. Sircar says support like that during such trying times is priceless. You can watch our special story showcasing our local heroes right here on Torrance City Cable, as well as online on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Now, if you have a great story to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.